Welcome to MMA Fancast. My name is Luke Pace, and welcome back to everyone who is already a subscriber to the YouTube channel. If you're not already a subscriber to the MMA Fancast YouTube channel, please subscribe so you can see more great interviews, including the one coming at you right now. First time guest of the show. Always great to have a first time guest of the show. This first time guest of the show is a bantamweight, undefeated amateur MMA fighter with a record of 2 wins and no losses.
That's
Welcome,
right. Get it hype.
Joey
Get it hype, Luke.
Perry.
That's
Welcome to the
right.
show,
That's
Joey.
right. Thank you for having me, man.
It's so great. Thanks so much for jumping on the show. We've got a lot to cover. We're about 10 days, under a week and a half out from your next fight for 247 Fighting Championships. This is going down at the new Sunny Days Arena. The title of the event is 247 MMA at the venue number 3, October 11th. You got a great fight we're going to be talking about. But before we do, because it's your first time on the show, tell us a little bit about your athletic background, wrestling, football, baseball, swimming. I don't know. What did you do before MMA? And then what got you into MMA?
Right. I was just in the neighborhood, right? Did everything. But no, serious note, I wrestled from the time I was 5. I mean, I played baseball, played football, pretty much the same. I was 3-sport athlete up till ninth grade, and then I chose to go ahead with wrestling and football.
Gotcha. Well, that makes a lot of sense. And when did you start getting interested in MMA, and how did you transition from wrestling and football? Obviously, that makes a great connection, but how did you get from your high school days into MMA? Where did you start training? How'd that come together?
Oh man, I mean, you know, I wrestled, like I said, my whole life, and I think I just saw, a lot of them Russian guys just ragged on people, and I said, I think I can do that. I think that's something I think I can do, and I've had good luck so far. So, uh, I love it, man. Watching it, I'm a student of the game. I love watching MMA. Uh, I love watching wrestling. I love watching jujitsu. I'm pretty much just obsessed with it. So, wrestling was my start in MMA, pretty much.
Sure, that makes a lot of sense. Gabe Stevenson just made his successful pro debut in MMA, so obviously
He's a
all the
beast.
rest. Oh, he's an absolute beast. And so it's going to be really, really exciting to see what he does. Clearly, oh man, the 185-pound fighter. I can picture him. I've met him. He comes to 247 fight sometimes. But anyhow, he's the three-time national champ out of Bo Nichols. I got
Oh,
it.
Bo Nickel.
It's
Yeah.
been great to see what he has done. He's had several fighters from his gym, which is
Yeah,
ATT
we fought a
Happy.
guy. My last fight, I fought a guy from his gym.
You know what? Completely unexpected connection there. But let's talk about it because I wanted to get to the fact that you are 2-0, which is a
Yes,
great
sir.
start. What have you learned about yourself in the first fight? And then obviously, let's talk a little bit longer. I remember sort of bits of your fight, but if you could flesh out the fight where you fought Bo Nichols' guy. Bo Nickel owns and runs the ATT Happy Valley, and obviously that's a pipeline out there in mid Pennsylvania. Let's talk about your first fight a little bit, and then we'll get to your second.
My first fight was an Ohio fight, so I could use the ground and pound. So I kind of used that to my advantage, and I got my guy out of there first round TKO. I really didn't have any striking background, and I kind of fought unattached. I had a corner guy from a gym who I worked with. Since then, I have really grown a lot, and I've been with the Mat Factory. Uh, I think about 2 years now. My last fight, I fought. I don't want to murder his first name because he always gets at me, but his last name's Baker, and
Hey.
he's a tough opponent, a long guy. I fought him at 140. So some of those guys at 140, they could be a 145 pounder. Um, yeah, I mean he was a tough kid, dude. Gave me a hard fight. I won all 3 rounds. I thought I looked very good. I'm excited here to show how much I've grown now over this last year that I haven't competed.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big time gap when you're talking about amateur. I say it should be every fight, but particularly in the amateurs, and you train at one of the best gyms. Coach Isaac Greeley
The
was
best,
the
the best,
best.
Jim.
I'm sorry. I do have to be diplomatic here.
You're okay.
The
You're
best
okay.
gym. Coach Isaac Greeley was the first inductee into the 247 Fighting Championships Hall of Fame. He's just an
He's the
absolute
man.
incredible guy. But a big part of amateur MMA is every time you fight to be such a better fighter that it doesn't even look like you were in the last fight. And obviously, your last fight, the one
Yeah.
we just referenced against the last name of Baker, something like Javon or Javan as a first name, but all
Yes, sir. Yeah.
so that way you don't have to.
You
But
said it, not me,
I
right?
said it. It's wrong. I apologize. I'd love to have him on the show. I'm sure you will go on to do great
He's
things.
a
But he
great
came
guy.
out of ATT Happy Valley, and he had a good first fight against you. You know, hey, you got to start somewhere. But that
Gotta
fight
start
was
somewhere.
over a year ago. So what has it been like that? Your last time you fought was June 29th, 2024 at Brawl in the Berg 22. Now here it is over a year later. What has that development been like for you, and what kind of kept you away from fighting? Are you coaching
You-
wrestling? Are you doing something that kind of takes
So
your time to get
yeah,
fit?
so there's a lot that goes into that. So I had a shoulder surgery, right? I had a labrum repair. And we're gonna dig a little deeper into this. So I was an addict. I was an addict. I struggled with addiction. And now I just celebrated my year clean. I have
Woo!
a year sober. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Congratulations. That's incredible.
Um, and I had my second child who he had some complications at birth, so we had to actually move to Philadelphia for
Mhm.
3 months. He was born in April, and so we had to do all that. We had to go out there. He was in the NICU for, I don't want to be wrong here, 23 days, I think. Operation at birth, on a ventilator at birth. God willing, he's doing great now, right?
Praise
He's
God.
a
Wow.
happy, healthy boy.
Yeah.
Um, so we were in Philadelphia, and now we're back. Shout out to Lou Armazani. We've been working with Lou, and we've been back at the Mat Factory, just grinding, man, just grinding. And like you brought up, I coached for my high school wrestling team this year, but that's not what held me out from fighting as of late. We just haven't been able to get a guy to step in there. I can get beat like anybody else. I think some people are scared to put their O on the line, Luke. I don't know. I don't know.
It-
But
it-
we got a guy now. We got a guy. We've been trying to get a
exactly.
guy for
And
4 months.
we'll get to that. I'm super excited. Obviously, the biggest praise the Lord and congratulations to you and prayers with you and your family about your son.
Thank
But
you very much. That's right. Praise the
having
Lord.
over a year of clean and sober time for you, that's incredible. And that's much more valuable to you and who you are as a
Thank
person
you.
than what you do in the cage. Obviously, it's exciting. You're also still a young guy.
Thank you very
And
much.
I spent 5 years of my life working in a rehab outside of Philadelphia, Eagleville Hospital, great inpatient drug and alcohol detox rehab.
You know what's up then.
And yeah, and I have to say that for somebody to get it, you started in your recovery at 25, and unfortunately, for people in addiction, when you're still young and it hasn't quite ruined your body, it can be a little harder for people to feel motivated. So praise God that you got the
Yeah.
change
Hey, man,
started
when
early.
I showed up to the Mat Factory, I was not healthy, and Isaac really, really, he, took me in and really showed me the way, and it didn't happen all for me at first.
Yeah.
I still messed up. I lied to a lot of people, but we got it figured out, and that's what I got to say about the Mat Factories. They stuck behind me, and now a year later, I'm a much different person.
Well, that's it. That's incredible. And the mother of your two children, is that a wife, a girlfriend? How are things there?
It's a girlfriend. We've been together
Sweet.
for 6. We're Go ahead.
I said awesome. That's great. Okay, so a girlfriend
Oh yeah,
you've been
yeah.
with.
Girlfriend. We've been together for 6 years now.
That's great. Well, congratulations to both of you on the kids, and obviously
Thank you.
the your baby being in recovery. It's incredible. There's always a backstory to everybody, and it's wonderful. Now, as you said, not only are you grateful for your recovery, your girlfriend, the two kids, your son recovering from his major issues when he was born. But it is a big deal. You know, anytime behind the scenes, it's hard to get a match. Your opponent has signed on it. I've already interviewed him. People can go and listen to the interview with Travis Fry.
I did today.
You did. There you go. So, but it is a big deal.
I did.
Anytime you know, no matter what happens, no matter what attitude you have to your opponent, the fact that you can't fight yourself. So it's always a big deal. But since you said that you listened to the interview, what are your thoughts on Travis Fry? Obviously, it's going to be a great fight. He's coming into this fight at 135. You're coming down a little bit from your last fight, which makes sense. Can't wait to see it. So what are your thoughts on your opponent?
You know, I don't know him personally. He sounds like a good dude. You know, he likes the sport. He wants to learn the sport, and you know, things get said. I had this kind of let's be real here. I didn't call him a pussy. I said, "Are you gonna be a pussy and pull out over a sprained wrist?" That's just the facts, man. I've been training for 10 months for this fight. If you think I ain't had a sprained wrist, a bum ankle, a bum knee, a bum neck, you're lying to yourself. This is the fight game, man. So he ain't a pussy. He signed the contract. We're gonna fight. That's all there is to it.
Well, there you go. You cleared the air a little bit on one of the comments he said. One of the comments he said, "Oh, we're having a guest on the show.
Come here. Let me
Somebody's
see.
coming on the show. That's always exciting." Oh my goodness!
All right, never mind.
Nope, that's fine. Camera shy. It's all good. That's fine. Back to you, though. I'm glad you could clear the air about what that comment was and a little bit more context. Obviously, the fight's happening, and I gotta like the enthusiasm. I know you listen to it. I gotta like the enthusiasm of Travis, unattached. You've been there before in your life, unattached. His buddies and he were literally doing jujitsu on their high school football field, and he's saying he's getting turf burn.
I heard about it.
I love it. So the attitude's there.
You got to, right?
Hey, you got to put the work in.
Man, you can't hate. You can't hate it, right?
No, that's great. What do you?
I'm glad he's getting ready because he's gonna have to be. He's gonna have to be ready.
Well, and this is the obvious question, and he said it in the other interview. He considers himself. He said it right out there. He considers himself to be a boxer, a striker. You obviously come from the wrestling background. I said it on that interview that there is always an element of striker versus wrestler in MMA. There's always going to be something, even two strikers, two wrestlers. There's always going to be that element of where is the fight going to take place. So let's talk about that. Are you thinking this is going to be a wrestling domination of a guy that wants to strike? What are your thoughts on the wrestling?
I can dominate anywhere, Luke.
Oh,
I'm going to stop you there. I'm a mixed martial artist. I hope this guy doesn't think he's in a boxing match. He might think he's in the wrong sport because I can take this anywhere. And what he's going to feel, and I promise you this, is pressure. He's going to feel the heat. And I'm going to tell you this right now. I can get punched in the mouth. Ask Justin Patton. Ask Carly Joe Thomas. Ask any of those dudes at the factory. I can get punched in the mouth. You got to bring more than a fist. All right? You got to bring a couple. All right? And I ain't going to stop coming. So, that's all I got to say, man. I'm not much for talk, right?
No, that's great. I like the joke. And this is a joke, Joey. The joke is you have a very punchable face, you know? So, it is what it is. No, obviously, you mentioned two of my favorite people, my good friends, Coach Carly Joe Thomas, who's the head women's wrestling coach out of Waynesburg University, and also Justin, the General Patton, a great buddy of mine, and a great brother in Christ. So, yeah, you train at the Mad Factory, you're training with these great guys, and I think you said something that your pressure. When did you kind of come up with the idea? Was it right from your first fight that, hey, you got the wrestling background, you got the football background, you're intense, that you're going to bring pressure into all of your fights?
I was born that way, brother.
Born that way.
I was born to bring it, dude.
Wow.
There's nothing else to put it, man.
I love it. I love it.
I was
Well,
born that way.
because
I
I
can't.
love
I
it's
can't
great.
tell you.
It's great that that's your mindset, that you want to bring pressure. You said you're going to dominate everywhere. Another thing that you said, which I always love when I can reference George St. Pierre, years ago, it's probably been at least a decade, maybe longer. He was still a champ at the time. Somebody asked him about being a fighter, and he said, I am a mixed martial artist. And he focused on the sport, being good at all levels and those type things. And you basically summarized what he said. You said, you can fight anywhere, you're a mixed martial artist. Being the background of a originally 3-sport athlete, and then in high school 2-sport athlete, do you think you have an advantage of a guy that can bring a lot of skills together, that you can hold 4, 5, 6 different skills level wise? You got Muay Thai, you got kickboxing, you got straight boxing, you got grappling, you got jiu-jitsu, you got wrestling, takedown defense, 6 different positions in jiu-jitsu at all times, whatever it is. Is that something that you think is an innate skill that you have?
I mean, you hit it right on the nail on the head, Luke. Listen, I focus on my weaknesses, right? And that's something that I think is forgotten in this game. I've been wrestling my whole life. Not that I don't, always want to get better at wrestling, but if people think I'm not out here striking, if people think I'm not out here learning different kicks and different styles of striking and different submissions, they're in for a rude awakening, Luke, because I'm a student of the game. Like I said, I'm obsessed, and I love to win, but I also love to learn. Right? I want to learn. I want to get better. I'm obsessed with getting better. I'm obsessed with hard work. I want the hard stuff, right? I want you to challenge me. And that's why I'm at the factory, man. And that's why I surround myself with the people I'm around. Lou, Isaac, Chris, Matt, you name it. I surround myself with guys that say, "Hey dude, are you going to show up today, or are you going to take the day off?" And you can ask those guys. I don't even live in Pittsburgh. I live 2 hours from Pittsburgh.
Oh, my.
I'm there. I'm there. You can ask anybody. I'm there. Time, car, money,
Oh, my
nothing
goodness.
stops me. Nothing
Yeah.
stops me.
Wow.
So
Well, you talk about dedication. Where do you live? That's 2 hours.
I live in Union City, Pennsylvania.
Union City.
Yeah, man. I live in a town with about 4,000 people in there.
Well, hey, that's bigger than Waynesburg. That's bigger than Waynesburg. That's a
Hey!
metropolis, baby.
We got
Waynesburg-
something in common.
There we
then.
go. Waynesburg's at, I think, 3,500 people, I think. So
There we go.
I'll have to look up Union City. I'm near Uniontown, but obviously you're in a different area. Well, yeah, you talk about dedication, the ability to train, the willingness to do it. Obviously, a 2-hour each way, that's a huge commitment. Talk about what you want to see out of yourself. You've already said dominate. You've already said you're going to bring pressure. What are you predicting? What are you thinking that's going to go down October 11th at 247 MMA at the Venue 3?
Luke, I don't like to be super specific because, like I said, I can take it anywhere if I have to. I want to look clean. I want to look confident. And I'm just going to get the job done. I'm expecting Travis to be tough. I'm expecting a better, not to knock on him, but everybody tries to get better. Hopefully he got better, right? I want the best Travis. I want the best opponent anytime I step in the cage, right? But I'm not going to lie if I'm not hunting for a finish, right? I am always hunting for a finish. And come October 11th, you're going to see somebody that is dedicated to just that. I'm going to come in there and I'm going to try to end the show.
Well, what a great phrase to wrap up on. You've been an incredibly entertaining and inspiring. I always say you need to focus on who you are as a man and a person, because it doesn't really matter what you do in the cage lifelong. What matters is who you are to your lady, to your kids, obviously in your recovery and your sobriety, working whatever program, whether it's one of the 12-step programs or whatever you're doing, keep it going, stay faithful and dedicated. Christian-wise, in the Christian world, we call that sanctification, where you're every day growing. You don't want to become stagnant. You want to continue
1%,
to grow and
right?
develop.
That 1%.
Just incredible. It's been great having you on. I can't wait to see what you do. It's going to be a great fight. Thanks so much for coming on. You've been listening to Luke Mason for MMA Fancast with first-time guest on the show, Joey Perry. Thanks so much for coming on, pal.
All right, have a great night, brother. Thank you.
You too, bud.